Narcissism as a spiritual war. Here's how to defeat it with Stoicism. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. We live in an age rife with narcissism. Social media, reality TV, and a culture obsessed with celebrity has led to a concerning rise in narcissistic traits across society. This causes immense suffering. Dealing with a narcissist firsthand can make you feel powerless. Yet the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy provides an antidote. The Stoics faced chaotic times over 2,000 years ago, but maintained inner peace by controlling what they could, their judgments, values, and will. Today we'll explore 13 Stoic lessons around recognizing and defeating the spiritual toxicity of narcissism with inner resilience. Let's begin. Lesson 1. See narcissists as spiritually weak. Don't demand or expect that events happen as you would wish them to. Accept events as they actually happen. That way, peace is possible. Epictetus. The Stoics saw humanity's true nature as social, reasonable, and caring. Narcissists have strayed far from this ideal. Though outwardly arrogant, inwardly they are crippled by profound self-doubt, dysfunction, and anger. Have sympathy for their weakness. For example, a narcissistic parent may try to control their children's interests to vicariously achieve their own unfulfilled ambitions. Have compassion for the sadness you. What has been your experience with the surprising insecurity lurking behind narcissistic bluster? Share your reflections below. Lesson 2. Protect your own soul. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. A core Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control. Distinguish what's up to you versus not up to you. You can't control a narcissist's beliefs or behaviors, but you can control your composure, priorities, and associations. Build mental toughness to withstand narcissistic games. For example, vicious remarks aim to elicit reactions instead. Recognize this merely reflects the speaker's personality. Don't let their darkness dim your inner light. Narcissistic vampires seek to sap targets of energy and autonomy to feed their egos. Protect your psychic borders. How do you maintain resilience when confronted with a narcissist's attempts to destabilize your self-control or self-image? Lesson 3. Set firm boundaries. Demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Epictetus. Healthy boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. Clearly communicate reasonable treatment expectations, leading with kindness, but being uncompromising around toxic behaviors. Narcissists despise losing control. Expect backlash like gaslighting or threats when standing firm. Remember, you aren't responsible for their reactions, nor should you enable harmful behaviors. For example, after repeated disrespectful comments undermining your work, clearly tell your narcissistic boss you find that language unacceptable and will disengage if it continues. Their reaction is up to them. What experiences can you share around maintaining boundaries with narcissistic manipulation? How did you respond to any backlash? Lesson 4. Abandon wishful thinking. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Epictetus. It's tempting to wish toxic people would become better versions of themselves. But the Stoic clarity of mind requires confronting the reality that deeply personality disordered individuals are unlikely to change. Rather than fruitlessly willing things to be different, accept what is and focus efforts on managing or eliminating contact. Don't enable harm by playing along with fantasies. Hoping narcissists will transform is like expecting a shark to become vegetarian. Their nature drives very different appetites. Have you caught yourself wishing your narcissistic relative would suddenly become reasonable and caring? How did you reconcile accepting reality over fantasy? Lesson 5. Master indifference. Who then is invincible? The one who can be disconcerted by nothing. Epictetus. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to build resilience. known as misfortune training. This strengthens mastery over what most narcissists profoundly lack: impulse control and handling fear, anger, or craving. By calmly reflecting on hostility rather than reflexively reacting, you maintain stability while the narcissist loses composure. Train by visualizing negative scenarios. The goal is equanimity regardless of external provocations. For example, picture insults as leaves floating down a stream rather than daggers requiring you to strike back. Allow narcissists to reveal their true colors through loss of self-regulation. How do you practice maintaining self-control when deliberately provoked? What techniques strengthen ability to non-react? Lesson 6. Protect your soul space. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Narcissists colonize others' minds and emotions to nourish their egos. A daily contemplative regimen protects inner freedom. Practices like journaling, nature, and spiritual reading nurture compassion. They remind you self-worth isn't dependent on validation. Make time to nourish rather than diminish your soul. Set boundaries around external contact. For example, limit time with narcissistic family members, leaving early when conversations become circular. Refuse to sacrifice inner peace. What practices help cleanse your psyche after exposure to narcissistic toxins? How do you strengthen self-validation? Lesson 7. See through manipulation. If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics advise anticipating manipulation tactics and rehearsing principled reactions. This builds immunity to narcissists' use of confusion, emotions, and uncertainty to control targets. For example, be ready for alternating cruel provocations and superficial praise to keep you off balance. Plan for baseless statements made assertively to deliberately erode confidence in your own judgment. By preparing, you can respond reasonably over reactively. See clearly rather than becoming complicit in staged delusions. Are there particular manipulation approaches you commonly confront when engaging with narcissists? How might planning ahead strengthen your clarity? Lesson 8. Dictate terms of engagement. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Epictetus. Confronting narcissists is rarely productive and often emotionally exhausting. As Epictetus suggested, avoid appearing overeager to prove yourself right or make them understand. Rather than focusing externally on apologies or validation, turn energies inward on self-development. Allow only contact aligned with boundaries that enable self-respect. Withdraw when inner stability is threatened. Trying to get validation from narcissists is as pointless as wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig likes it. How do you avoid unproductive power struggles? When have you reduced contact to protect your peace of mind? Lesson 9. Control your inputs. Keep constant guard over your perceptions, for it is no small thing you are protecting, but your respect, trustworthiness, and steadiness, peace of mind, freedom from pain and fear. In a word, your tranquility. Epictetus. Be vigilant over information sources. Avoid contact triggering obsessiveness, anger, or confusion without adding value. Monitor thoughts, impacting judgment. Meditate on advisors' wisdom over narcissists' distortions. Seek role models radiating compassion and moderation. Input determines mindset. Filter wisely. For example, limit social media contact with narcissistic personalities, making overly assertive claims without evidence. Verify using reputable journalism with caveats around uncertainty. What information diets strengthen your equanimity and discernment? How do you filter narcissistic noise? Lesson 10. Respond with wisdom. Master yourself, and you will be able to master anyone. Epictetus. Legend tells of Alexander the Great meeting Diogenes washing lettuce for dinner. Amid opulence, Diogenes chose wisdom over power. Alexander offered to grant any request. Diogenes simply replied, "Stop blocking my sunlight." Like Diogenes, Stoics summon quiet courage against arrogance, seeing the smallness of those feeling big by tearing others down. Respond to darkness with light, maintain boundaries wisely. What experiences can you share around maintaining stability when provoked? How have you found responding firmly yet peacefully transforms narcissistic power plays? Lesson 11. Focus on what you can control. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself, which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Epictetus. The Stoics recognized that often in life, many things are outside of our control. This includes other people's beliefs, behaviors, and reactions. What is within our control is how we choose to view things and respond. When confronted by a narcissist's attacks, remember that their attempts to provoke you or diminish your self-worth need not impact your inner peace and values. You control whether to engage or withdraw, to react or respond thoughtfully. Focus not on changing them, but on controlling yourself wisely. For instance, when a narcissistic friend makes plans only to break them without notice, avoid frustration over their thoughtlessness. Instead, view it as a chance to enjoy solo activities. Recognize their limitations over personal needs. What experiences can you share related to focusing internally on your responses versus trying fruitlessly to control narcissists' actions? Lesson 12. Discipline your judgments. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics saw the judgments we attach to events as key to emotional turmoil. By carefully disciplining thinking, we can transform inner experience of identical outer circumstances. When encountering narcissistic behaviors like insults, practice observing without judging. Recognize the reflex to attach labels of good or bad and simply note occurrences impartially. This diffuses reactive anger or hurt. Additionally, avoid judging yourself for how you should react. Allow feeling space for awareness without self-criticism for having them. Cultivating presence and objectivity alleviates suffering. What experiences of non-judgmental observation in response to frustrating narcissistic actions reduced internal turmoil for you? Lesson 13. Act virtuously regardless. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. B1. Marcus Aurelius. Stoics place the highest importance on living honorably in alignment with human excellence virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice. They saw this as the only true happiness, regardless of external recognition. When confronting narcissists who may try to diminish or control you, focus inward on behaving nobly according to your values. Meet false accusations with factuality. Reply to emotional attacks with compassion. Have courage to walk away rather than compromise ethics. Model the change you wish to see. Upholding virtue preserves self-respect regardless of others' character. It also provides the strong moral grounding to influence positively where possible. How have you found maintaining high personal standards impacts not just inner tranquility, but also ability to improve situations involving narcissism for the better? In closing, may these 13 Stoic lessons provide guidance for engaging narcissists by recognizing manipulation and maintaining inner resilience despite external hostility. What further experiences or insights around retaining soul brightness, even against dark energies, can you share? I welcome your comments.